in that talking about what a lot of white churches do and what that is, and it just happens naturally. It's not that we try to do it, but we say, well, why wouldn't a black guy want to be comfortable in my church? We're all friendly, we're all these sorts of things.
Can you tell them why?
Well, yeah, I can tell you why. The reason is because...
I'm just saying, we're having a discussion, right?
The reason is because we invite you into our church, and then we say, we want you to sing music like a white person.
Boom.
We want you to... We want you to interact with we want you to interact with preaching like a white person does. We want you to interact with ministry and organization like a white person does. All our leaders are white, and indirectly what we're saying is Jesus is white. You know, we're saying that to be a Christian, you have to do it the white way, and so that's
what I'm saying. That's all we're saying. We gotta take it. That's all we're saying.
And I'll say this. Back to your last question, Sean, for those of us out here that are white, it's not about being guilty, feeling guilty or anything like that. What we need to realize, and this is where I read a book called Divided by Faith back in 2008. All my white evangelical brothers and sisters need to read it. It's called Divided by Faith by Emerson and Smith. And it just opened up my eyes. And you hear things like, well, people of color don't think that white people are safe. It's because we're not. We're not safe. Like, we can't be trusted. And what I mean is we don't know what you don't know. My 5-year-old is not safe driving a car. She's not safe behind the wheel. She's 5 years old, right? And so we think we know everything about what it's like to be black in America. How would you know that when you're not black?
That's my thought too.
Right. So we're not safe, and what that means is we have to be trained, and there's some really amazing trainings out there. Before we're off the stool, I'm going to pass around some information about a training that Derek and I, and I'll introduce a couple others that are bringing this training to Lansing. But we need to be trained, and I've gone through that, and I'm still very early in the process, but I think that made me a safer person with Derek, where I could say, hey man, like, this is where I was, this is what I have learned, here's the process I've been on now for like 6 or 7 years. Can you help me continue this process? Not like, hey, can you teach me everything you know about being black? Like, that's not the way that should work, right?
Yeah, and I think the natural thing, or not natural thing, but the most common thing is to assimilate.
Yes.
And I think what we as a country need to realize, I can be pro-black and not anti-white.
Amen.
And vice versa.
Come on.
Can you get to be pro their culture?
But I think that's a huge thing, and I can be so comfortable in my identity and love you more when I am.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Because we realize that there is a common link between all of us, and especially in Christianity, it should be an even more common link between all of us.
Yeah.
But I can love my culture, I can love my people, and also love you all too.
That's right. Come on.
So let's just be honest about it right here. I got the mic too. If you all saw this man outside of this setting, many people would say he's a criminal.
My Lord.
That he's dangerous. But this is the most loving man. He's a father,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's a husband.
That's right.
He's a friend. He's a brother. He has to overcome that inside of his Christianity.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to just kind of bring that up because there's a lot going on here that maybe this, do you think that this could actually happen among 50 and 60 and 70-year-olds, or is this unique because it's our generation?
That's a good question.
Wow.
So like we're asking people to do some stuff that they're just not going to do, right? And so like if you don't know what Plessy versus Ferguson did to us, you might need to go Google Plessy versus Ferguson, and that'll bring us into this whole discussion. But we just wanted to bring them up. And I think it would be great if you all could engage them in a conversation moving forward about this, because honestly, this issue is what's hurting Christians in America today. It is the biggest divide. And let's just give these two young men a applause. We're gonna dig. We're gonna go.